Look closely at this image. This is the single most important medical scan a man over 60 will ever see. On the left is the thigh of a 30-year-old triathlete. On the right is the thigh of a 70-year-old man. Notice the white areas infiltrating the muscle on the right? That is intramuscular fat. But more importantly, look at the dark area, the muscle itself. It has shrunk. It has withered. This is not just aging. This is a disease. Medical science calls it sarcopenia, from the Greek, sarx meaning flesh, and penia meaning poverty, poverty of the flesh. It begins silently in your 30s. You lose about 3 to 5% of your muscle mass per decade. But after age 60, the decline accelerates into a free fall. Why does this matter? Because muscle is not just for bodybuilders. Muscle is your body's primary metabolic currency. It is your armor against gravity. It is the largest endocrine organ in your body. When you lose muscle, you don't just get weaker, you get resistant to insulin, your testosterone plummets, your bones become brittle, and eventually you lose your independence. Most men try to fight this by walking or golfing or gardening. But biology is ruthless. Walking does not stop sarcopenia. To stop muscle wasting, you need a signal, anabolic signaling. You need to impose a structural demand on your skeleton that forces it to survive. Today we analyze the only 3 movements capable of saving your frame before it's too late. To understand why we chose these specific exercises, we must look at the microscopic level. Your muscles are made of 2 main types of fibers. Type 1, slow twitch. These are your endurance fibers. You use them for walking and posture. They are resilient, they age slowly. Type 2, fast twitch. These are your power fibers, used for sprinting, lifting, and reacting quickly. Sarcopenia attacks the type 2 fibers first. This is why older men don't just get weaker, they get slower. Their reaction time dies. If they trip, they cannot move their feet fast enough to catch themselves. Walking only stimulates type 1 fibers. It does nothing for type 2. Then there is the bone. Wolff's Law states that your bones will adapt to the loads under which they are placed. If you only carry your own body weight, your bones will think, I don't need to be strong, and they will dissolve. This is osteoporosis. To reverse this, we must load the spine and the hips. We must lift heavy things. Here are the 3 movement patterns that do this safely and effectively. The first movement is the squat. Now, before you say, my knees are too bad to squat, listen, your knees are bad because you stopped squatting. The squat is not an exercise, it is a fundamental human function. It is the mechanics of sitting down and standing up. If you lose this ability, you require a caregiver to help you off the toilet. That is the definition of lost dignity. Anatomically, the knee joint is a slave to the hip and the ankle. When you squat correctly, you strengthen the quadriceps, the brake system, and the glutes, the engine. Strong quads act as shock absorbers for your knee joint. Weak quads mean bone grinding on bone. For men over 60, we do not do deep barbell squats. We use the box squat. Place a sturdy chair or box behind you. Stand with feet shoulder width apart. The cue is not bend your knees. The cue is sit back. Push your hips back as if closing a car door with your butt. Control the descent. Count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Touch the box. Don't rock back. Pause and then drive through your heels to stand up. This pause eliminates momentum. It forces the type 2 fibers to fire to get you moving again. It is safe, it is controlled, and it builds ironclad knees. The second movement fights the most visible sign of aging, the hunchback. Gravity is constantly pulling you forward. Your shoulders roll in, your spine curves. To fight this, we need to strengthen the posterior chain, the muscles on the backside of your body. We do this with the hinge pattern, commonly known as the deadlift. Many men fear the deadlift because they think it hurts the back. In reality, the deadlift is the cure for back pain. It teaches you how to lift objects using your hips, not your spine. It strengthens the erector spinae, two cables of muscle that run up your back, acting as guy wires to keep your spine tall. We start with a kettlebell deadlift or a trap bar. The weight is between your feet. Hinge at the hips. Imagine you are trying to touch the wall behind you with your glutes. Keep your chest proud. Grab the weight. Now do not pull with your back. Instead, push the floor away with your feet. There is a hidden benefit here: grip strength. A 2018 study published in the British Medical Journal found that grip strength was a better predictor of future mortality than blood pressure. Strong hands mean a strong heart. When you hold a heavy weight, your body releases a surge of testosterone and growth hormone to cope with the stress. This is the chemical fountain of youth you have been looking for. The final movement is about survival, the push. According to the CDC, falls are the leading cause of injury-related death in adults over 65. When you trip, instinct takes over. You throw your hands out to catch yourself. If your wrists, triceps, and shoulders are weak, your arm breaks, or worse, your face hits the concrete. You need pushing strength to act as your armor. We train this with the elevated push-up. Floor push-ups might be too hard on the wrists initially, so use a countertop, a bench, or a wall. Keep your body in a straight plank line, tighten your abs, lower yourself until your chest almost touches the surface. Then push away explosively. Keep your elbows tucked in at a 45-degree angle. Do not flare them out like a chicken. That destroys the shoulder joint. This movement loads the bones of the wrist and forearm, increasing density exactly where you need it most during a fall. It also builds the chest and shoulders, giving you the upper body strength to open heavy doors, lift groceries, or push yourself up if you do fall down. The squat, the hinge, the push. 3 movements, infinite benefits. You do not need to live in the gym. At age 60 plus, recovery is just as important as training. Perform this routine 2 to 3 times a week. Start with body weight, master the form, then slowly add resistance. Remember, you are not training to look good on the beach. You are training to be useful. You are training to be the grandfather who can play on the floor, not the one watching from the chair. You are training to die young, at a very old age. Sarcopenia is waiting, but with iron and gravity, you can keep it at bay. Start today. Subscribe for more science-based longevity protocols.